Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. Hello! And as I've mentioned in a couple of videos past, we are doing something a little different for 2022. We are comparing cards to the traditional Rider-Waite deck versus whatever wild deck that I have to play with this month. We will also probably have visitors throughout the year who will pick and choose at cards of their own. Maybe we'll do a little compare and contrast with that too and see what kind of trouble we can get into there. So we are playing with the Sakki Sakki tarot deck this month, and they are a tarot deck that were gifted to me, and I really enjoy them. They're a lot of fun. I will say that for me personally, they are definitely my style, but when I do readings and stuff, I try to find things that are kind of more universally accepted. So this is not a deck I've used often for readings. That said, if you're ever interested in doing a reading and you specifically ask for this deck, let me know. There definitely may be some like fun extras involved in that. So we are comparing today the Page of Cups. And before I reveal to you the Sakki Sakki card, here is our traditional Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is one of the court cards in the suit of cups. It is typically represented by a rather androgynous looking youthful character, because the cups don't necessarily represent masculine or feminine. They could be either one. What they represent is youth, inexperience, and naivete. So with the respect to the cups, cups represent emotions. So when it comes to a character who is a little immature and very emotional, we know that this is somebody who's going to be probably very poetic, very easy to release their emotions, shall we say. They also wear their heart on their sleeve, shall we say, and they are a little bit mercurial in the way that they behave emotionally. So with this guy, we have, and I'll just say guy, I think this one leans a little more masculine than feminine, but all of them are a little different. We have the water representation because the cups do represent water, because water represents emotion and the movement of that emotion. If you look at the water behind him, it's kind of just a little bit of waves. So yeah, he's pretty much got everything under control most of the time, but there are ripples. There are things under the surface. Also, if you look at the background on this, it's kind of more muted. It's a bit gray. It's neither day nor night. It could be either. It's probably like that early morning or maybe right before bedtime kind of thing. He's holding a cup, and inside that cup is a fish. The fish is representative, obviously, of all of those things in the sea and all of those energies that we have. Also, it represents kind of a pleasant surprise. One does not expect to see a fish in their cup, not necessarily. So when he scooped up maybe some of the water from this river to take a drink, he also scooped up a fish and these happy surprises. And that's also another big energy of the Page of Cups, is these kind of happy surprise moments of like seeing a person you didn't expect to see or receiving a letter you didn't expect to receive. They represent gifts in the sense of someone giving you a gift. The Page of Cups also can be an individual who is very often doing things for the sake of just having that good feeling. They don't really want any recognition for it. They just want to have that good feeling for doing a good deed. It makes them feel good. If you notice, he is wearing these what look like lilies kind of on his vest, his jerkin there. So again, there's that life that comes from the water. There are lilies. Lilies and lotuses represent kind of that abundance and that opening up spiritually and all of that kind of thing. I really love his hat, because his hat does not necessarily look like a feather coming out of it. It kind of looks like water is flowing off of it. And again, it's that in his head, there's this kind of emotions are constantly flowing out, as you can see from the scarf, but also they can spill over in like this shock wave. So I like that, because to me it sort of looks like maybe there's water sloshing around inside of his head, and that's all of his motions and things like that. That's just my interpretation of it. I've just always looked at it and gone, that looks like his emotions are spilling over or splashing out kind of thing. So let's take a look at the Sakki Sakki one. And right away, we have the fish. And the fish is actually in the foreground a bit more. The face on this character is definitely like, why is there a fish in my cup? That's kind of weird. We have almost the equal amount of waves in the background. I almost feel like the curve, the sine curve of those waves is the same, which is really wild to think about, that they put in that much effort of like, hey, it's not flat, it's not big bumpy waves, they're just kind of gentle and they're almost identical, and I love that part. The background of this is really confusing to me. I'm not really sure what to make of it. He kind of looks like he might be in a cave. He kind of looks like he might have gone exploring and found this little water space. So I can buy into that, and I'm using that as my example of what the heck is going on in the background, because I do think that the Page of Cups represents exploring our emotions a little more. And we can only do that by kind of being more daring and saying, okay, well, I don't know what this feels like and I don't know what it's going to be like, but I'm going to do it anyway because I have never experienced it before, and I want to explore that emotion more and I want to get deeper into it. And this goes for all emotions. This goes for love and hate and anger and frustration and concern and curiosity, all of these kinds of things that bubble up inside of us. The Page of Cups is going to kind of dive deep on those, which is why, again, it seems like they're a little unstable. It's because they're willing to go deep into those emotions. They've never experienced them before. So let's dig into it. Let's see what happens, which is why I like thinking of him in this kind of weird, convoluted cave, and he finds this pool, and he dips his cup in there, and oh, look, a fish. So the happy surprise of the fish is still there. I do think that this one leans a little more masculine as well. I'm not as fond of his hat, although I do like that it's kind of a fool's cap, because again, the pages are kind of representative of that fool card of that this is new. They've never done this before. They've never experienced this before. So it's innocence, it's naivete, it's all of those things. I love the colors on this card. I love the colors on all the Sakki Sakki cards, but I also love that this kind of stays true to the blues and those watery colors. There's a bit of a flash of orange and red, which again represents his passions and how they get a little out of control every now and again. But it sticks true to the blue represents water and water represents emotions. So let's have some blue flowy cards. I do really love that background. I'm taking a deeper look at this. I don't see anything else that I'm like, oh, gotta see that. What I do notice about this card is it doesn't have any symbols in the corners. And the Sakki Sakki deck definitely leans into having some of the astrological symbols and planetary symbols represented in the corners. The page does not have that. I'm not really sure if all the pages have that, so check through all the other videos and see if I've talked about that before, but I don't recall offhand. So that is our Page of Cups in both the Rider-Waite traditional deck and our Sakki Sakki deck. I think that they retain the essence of one another, definitely. And I kind of like the fact that our little character is in a kind of a cave for the Sakki Sakki deck, because again, it's that exploratory side of the emotions. So I hope you really enjoyed these cards. I hope you're enjoying this kind of compare and contrast sort of thing. And yes, till next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and I will see you again very soon. Until then, check out the links in the description below, and I hope to see you at Tarot Cafe and some of the other crazy stuff I do.